So y'all, I am petty. Like, do you see this meme? Petty is my favorite color. That is me. I'm totally gonna cut this, but this is probably gonna end up as the intro. But like, I have just gone on a 5 minute rant about stuff and things that annoy the shit out of me. Don't know why. Don't know where it came from. I've just been agitated recently, and I needed to get it out. And I got it out, but no one's ever gonna see it. But yeah, this meme. Just imagine me in this hat with my wig. Petty's my favorite color. What can I say? Hi, and welcome to Losing My Knit, episode 5. I'm Jeff. I am mostly a knitter, sometimes a crocheter. I live in Boston with my husband and our Bernedoodle Barnaby, Barnaby the Bernedoodle. And welcome to the chaos that is my fiber journey. You can find me on Instagram at losing.my.knit. You can find me on Ravelry and Blue Sky at Losing My Knit. No periods. You can also scan any of these QR codes. I'm also on Storygraph. That link is below. Yeah, and I want to first say welcome back to those of you who are returning, especially subscribers. You guys are awesome. And welcome to those of you that have stumbled across my channel. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, I hope you will. Fun fact, 43% of you not watching aren't subscribed, so go find the little sub button and hit it. That would be awesome. Every subscribe, every like, every comment, I just get a little, I get a little giddy. I smile. I do a little dance. And the comments, I love your comments. I want to thank everyone who watched last video. Everyone was very civil in the comments. Everyone was very kind and supporting. And I think those of you who chose not to watch that section, respect to you. Thank you for not commenting or not doing anything. There wasn't as big of a hemorrhage as I thought there would be when it came to lost subscribers. I probably lost maybe 20 or 30 and then gained that much plus 10 or so. So no skin off my back. I was just sharing a little bit of my education, a little bit about my thoughts on fashion and gender. Or gendered fashion. But again, that's not everyone's cup of tea. You weren't interested, you didn't need to watch it, you got to see everything cool before. You might have missed me making a fool of myself in the last couple of minutes of the episode. I usually kind of ramble and forget what I'm doing, but yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you for all of that lovely support. Today's episode, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I mean, you know what I'm going to do. It's the same order as most everyone else. It's a standard order. But I took a training when I first started my last job, and they're like, when you're doing a presentation, the one thing you never do is go over the agenda of what you're going to do. You just jump into it because it doesn't waste time. And I love that, and I've lived by it. But I still find myself going, and here's what we're going to do. And then I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, but I'm not going to talk about this. And then I go to the next slide. I am not wearing any knit items today. It is finally warm in Boston. It is currently 61 degrees. It was almost 80 yesterday, and I was like, what is this magic? Our average temperature around now is like the low to mid 60s, so today it's more average. It is overcast, which is not fun. But yeah, so no knits. I may still go grab it, something from the archives to show, but I also may just grab something off of this little shelf right here. I still haven't gotten rid of it. I'm having second thoughts on that, actually, y'all. What do you think? So I'm thinking I might actually keep that or I think I want a wider one about that height, and then do one of the boards above it, like here. One of those boards with the holes, and you put the hanger stick things in there, and then you hang hanks of yarn or skeins of yarn on it. I kind of like that aesthetic. I've been watching a couple of podcasts where people have that, and I like that better than the the bookshelves with the yarn just tucked into it. Like, I love those. I think they're beautiful. But I kind of like the idea of them laying long ways. You can't see it, but above that shelf that's right here, I've got two soft-sided crates that I will eventually put yarn into, that's laying down like you see on most people's. But I don't know, I like the idea of the pegboard. Oh, it's pegboard. The pegboard, and then having some hanging down. Anyway, let me keep moving. Keep moving forward. I was going to say it, but I might jinx it. I don't have any finished objects. This is my first episode with no finished objects, which I knew would happen. I am a predominantly monogamous knitter. I generally have one larger project, a blanket, something rather simple, and then something smaller that I'm working on. But as we're coming out of the winter season, I've shifted to a larger project, two relatively larger projects. So they're going to take me a little while to get through. That being said, I'm going to cast on something because I'm going out to, I'm traveling for work next week. Yeah, so no finished objects. The one I thought I might get finished, I just put off. So we'll go right into my works in progress. The one I was talking about is my linen bag. So if you remember this, self-drafted pattern. I have not gotten any further. The handles that I'm knitting are the same length as they were. But what I did do is we finally had the chance to get out to Fabric Place Basement. So that's this really big store in Natick. Yeah, I think it's Natick. And we finally got out there this past weekend. And I was looking for a liner. I decided I wasn't going to do linen. I was just going to get a nice, relatively lightweight cotton for it. I also got 2 straps. I wanted to get some of the like woven straps. So I got 2 of those, which I'll sew in. I got navy. They didn't really have a lot of them. But I liked the idea of navy. I thought that would probably work the best. This is going to be the most cobbled together bag on the planet, but I'm going to love it because I made it. And then for the liner, I actually went out thinking I wanted to get like a white or a solid color or a solid blue. But fun fact, it's really hard to color match something that exists unless you buy it from the beginning. And so I could not find a blue that I liked. We also looked at an orange, a yellow, looked at all the colors, and I was like, you know what? No, I give up. Let's just go find something random. So we had a couple of really cool pattern ones, a couple that were like ocean themed. There was a really nice octopus one that we thought that had similar blues, which was good. But then we found a bolt of fabric that just had just over a yard left on it. And I was like, you know what? No one's going to see the inside of this bag except me, more than likely. And I was like, let's just get it. So this is the fabric that I bought to create my liner. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing with the liner. Like, I have an idea of how I think I'm going to do it. But, like, I'm not following a pattern. I'm just going to hand stitch it. So we got this really cool ombre watercolor fabric. And so I think it'll just, I don't know, I think it'll be really neat. So like I'll probably cut the bag long ways this way. And then the sides I'll probably cut from here so it looks like almost like a pool. I guess actually if you do it this way, you kind of look at it like this. This makes no sense. Like this would kind of be the inside of the bag, and I would reverse it. Yeah, so I was excited about that. It was like, I think total for for this and both of the straps, maybe $11-12. Like, I was here for it. So I'll figure this out. Maybe it'll be for next month. We'll see. Because I'm traveling for about a week, almost a week and a half. I don't know if I'll actually get to it, but that's my fabric. I'm excited. And I really love the watercolor. Like, it just, from that deep dark navy to this much, much lighter gray. I don't know. I think it'll be neat. I think it'll be cool. I'm excited for it. Man, I wasn't going to share that in this section. That was going to be my acquisitions. Well, whatever. There's my first acquisition. Anyway, so that's where that is. So I consider that is back in progress. Now I just need to finish doing the one strap the extra strap I'm going to add on that I'm knitting in the linen stitch. So yep, that's my bag, self-drafted, no real pattern. The big project, let me go grab the other two. The other three. So the big project is the Hue Shift Afghan, which I am making for my sister for her wedding. She gets married in early July. And I plotted this out starting, I don't know, sometime in late January, early February. I needed to do X number of squares a week, one panel a month, and I'm about a month ahead of schedule. So if you remember, this was the first panel. This is the second panel I did. It matches me. About this way. It matches me. Panel number 2. I then have panel number 3. Oh, wrong side. And then this month, I didn't think I would. I honestly did not think I would finish it. I finished number 4. Like, number 4. So I have 1, 2. And this one was confusing. Y'all, this one was confusing as hell. These are basically the same color. Or they are the same color. But if you'll see, the mitered square goes the opposite direction, so I think they'll be diagonals to each other. But it took me so long to understand that. I was like, wait, I'm doing the same color? What's happening? And yeah, so it was a mess. But yeah, so those are the 2. And then there's this one. And this one. So yeah, I've got all 4 of them. Like, how cool is this? So the next steps for this will be to graft them together or seam them together. And then there's a heather gray border, light gray border that goes all the way around them. I'm not going to work on these until I get back from my trip. And then I think what I'll probably do is at the very least, I'll get them stitched together and then get the stitches picked up to then do the border. But like, this is coming along. Like, I'm so glad I'm where I am because it just takes some of that pressure off. Like, it'll be good. I'm excited. And it looks so good. I can't wait to see it laid out. I'll try and take a picture of it laid out when I get ready to seam them together. And I'll post it on Instagram or something. So that's that big blanket. The other big blanket that I'm working on is the one I'm doing one a month. I won't show you all of last month, but I did my triangle for my triangle square blanket. This month's was high fantasy. Same thing, I'm just doing a simple granny square triangle. I'll eventually stitch them all together. This one gives me Halloween vibes. I kind of think it should have been the October color, but it was May of 2022. Yeah, 22. But I will tell you this, like these oranges, just the range of the oranges are stunning. Like, they go from like this really deep dark one, and this is showing it very light, but like they go from this dark to like this super goldenrod yellowy orange, and this isn't black. It looks black on there, but it's almost like a purplish gray, so it's lighter in person. But yeah, so I did that triangle. I also hand-balled next month's color, which this is probably the one I'm most excited about after January, which was the classics. Young adult. Like, I love how bright it is with the speckles. So this one I think is going to knit up totally different than any of the other ones. This one has more speckles. It's not variegated. All the others have been variegated, and some have had speckles, but like, I'm excited to see how this one crochets up. Hooks up? Crochets up? What do you say? Works up. it's going to be so pretty. I almost wish I would have ordered extra of this one instead of the classic one. So those are my two big blankets. And the one is, deadline for my sisters. The other one has a no real deadline. I'll probably get to December, decide how many additional triangles I need. I've got some extra DK skeins that I could pull in. We'll see. We'll see how we go. My final work in progress is living in my ostentatious bag. Y'all know it's my favorite. I just move stuff in here constantly. This one, I've got another one that I rotate in. I'll show it next time. But just, it's just a tote bag. This one has been on a journey. So if you remember last episode, I had gauge swatched, and it's my Trinigan cardigan by Andre Maury. She announced the March to May knit along, and I was like, oh cool, that just gives me a reason to cast on. No intentions of finishing by end of May. Maybe I will, who knows. I'll get a lot of knitting time coming up, and I think I am going to take this with me. Plain knitting. And so I cast it on. First I gauge swatched, found the needle I thought I needed, cast it on, and then cast on right away. But that's all I did. So I just did the tubular cast on. And I got to the point where I had swapped it, so it was already 2x2 set up. And you all saw it last time, it was like, literally that's all it was. I don't think even I'd done the 2x2 swap yet. So the day after I recorded, or a couple days after I recorded, I was ready to start. I was like, okay, let's get going. March to May, I only got 2 months, 8 weeks left. And so I did. I just picked it up, didn't think anything of it, and just started knitting. And I knew I needed, X number of inches so it's bottom-up cardigan, for the ribbing. And I'm just knitting away, and I'm like, okay, la la la, la 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 la. 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes. It's a ton of stitches. I already wasn't sure if I wanted to do the largest size or the next to largest size. And I was knitting it, and I was like, this feels really big, like really long. And so I stopped, I was a good couple hours into it, but like, because the rows were so long, I was maybe an inch in. And I looked at my needles. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I looked at the pattern. I was knitting my ribbing with the needle size that the pattern calls for the body. In general, I have to go down in size. So I used to have to go up in size. Used to be a tight knitter. I've relaxed. I've sort of figured out my flow a little better. I'm not consciously pulling everything super, super tight. And I was like, I don't think this is right. This doesn't feel right. It looks way too big. Like, my stitches were really thick. I hate measuring gauge on ribbing. I can't figure it out. Plus you gauge, it's more important for this one to gauge in the pattern, the body, because it's mosaic. And I was like, screaming in my head. I was like, and so I stopped. Thankfully, I had already, because you use swatch and mosaic, I had a second ball of the main color balled up and the contrast color balled up as well. So I stopped, and I went and I re-gauge swatched. I had to do it 3 times because I didn't start with the needle right away. I just went 2 sizes up and was like, okay, maybe that's what happened. And it was right. I needed to go 2 sizes up plus the ribbing. No. Maybe I only gauged shots twice. But anyway, I did find that the needle that I needed to use for the body is the one I was using was one larger than the one I was using for the ribbing. So clearly I had, coming back from vacation, I was a little more uptight. So I was knitting a little tighter. So I had to pull it out. And when I pulled it off, I kind of wrapped it around myself, and it went like, so it's the base, it was the ribbing at the bottom, like it went like this. That's how much too big it was. And obviously it was stretched out because it was only like an inch, but like it like wrapped around me a good bit. And it's like it's supposed to be oversized, but not that oversized. So a day or so later, I cast back on, and I started to make progress. But like, long story short, like, one, I need to make sure even when I'm on a cruise ship without Wi-Fi, I write down the damn needle size. Usually, I use my my project tracker, which is a Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets spreadsheet. But I didn't. So I'm actually that and a couple of other things have made me think I may start using this. This is where I've got my Heartstopper sweater pattern drawn out. Not even pattern, the repeat drawn out from the Colorwork sweater I want to do. I may start using this and taking this with me, especially on cruises, because we don't always get the Wi-Fi. It's nice to disconnect, but like, I might need paper and pen. I mean, I also could use my notes app on my phone, which I should have done, but I didn't. So anyway, here we are. I did get through the ribbing, and I made some pretty good progress. So this is my Trinigan cardigan. Let's see. So you can see the colors, and that's, I mean, it's a little darker when you see it in person. It's definitely a little darker, but I really like how it goes from this like really deep, deep dark. And I think there's going to be some spots of low contrast. So right here, the colors almost run together, and then you've got some that are like high contrast. You've got the blues and the greens, and it just so happens right now that the greens are happening where the greens are happening, the blues are happening where the blues are happening. I'm excited. Like, I love it. It also looks striped. Like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, so that was a mess. That delayed me by a couple of days because I was so grumpy and mad when I found out that was in the evening. I was just like, fine. And I didn't do anything, and then Saturday I cast on. But yeah, so there it is. Up close to the pattern, like I said, it's a mosaic. Yeah, and I'm excited for it. It'll be good. The colors I'm using are deep sea and blue green. Yeah. And then I also actually really like the back. Kind of gives you this really pretty slow. Shows you the slow color change. Yeah, so that's my Trinigan cardigan. It still takes probably 15 to 20 minutes for the darker blue to get down and back, because you're every stitch. The lighter blue, the contrast color, not quite as long because you're skipping, the pattern. You don't knit every stitch, so it goes just a little bit faster. Yeah, so there's my Trinigan cardigan. Can't wait to see it done. I need to cake up a couple balls for that before my trip, because I will, like I said, I'll probably take it with me, because that's some good hotel room knitting in the evenings if I don't use it. So those are all my works in progress. I don't have any more. I'll show you the jelly roll next month. I've decided I'm going to show you whenever I complete a strip. I'm actually very close to completing another strip, which is exciting, but I'm not there yet. I'll show you that later. So moving in to upcoming cast-ons. I don't have... I'll talk about it in my obsessions. Yeah, I'll talk about it in my obsessions. So I am going to... So I have knit 4 Musselburghs, burrows. 2 for my twin cousins that live in Denver, and then 2 for their parents. And I did that a few years ago now. I was like, I'm going to knit myself a Musselburgh. And then I realized that I'm not knitting this for me. So I'm knitting this for just some other family members, because it's... anytime anyone comes to Boston, all they want is lobster rolls. And I'm just going to show you this. So this is from Honey and Quill. McKenna did this as part of her Cape collection last year. And that is called Lobster Roll. I have a label. I did keep it. I'm just trying to flatten it out a little bit. There's her label. And then these other colors. So I'm going to do one half in Lobster Roll and the other half in Nauset Light. And then this is the other color. It's this very soft red. I definitely remember in my head it being a brighter red, but I'm glad it's not because look at those. Like they just look so good. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that. So yeah, I caked these up yesterday. I'm going to, I don't know which one I'll start with. I'll probably start with this one because I'm more excited to knit with it. I'll cast on, and that'll be good for, so I love, that cardigan's great, but it's not necessarily great for bus or train knitting, like commuter train type knitting, and I'll probably do that a couple of days. So I'll want a smaller project to carry with me while I'm out there. So these are excited. I'm excited. I bought these last year, and they've just kind of been sitting in there being like, knit me, knit me, knit me. And she's got some blues. McKenna knows I love a blue. And I bought a couple of blue skeins from her last year for a specific project. And then one that was a mystery colorway. And I knew it was going to be beautiful because it was like whites and blues and ice and that sort of thing. And she's also got, she just did one of the festivals and she's got a bunch of blues. And I'm like, oh, don't tempt me. Don't you tempt me. Yeah, so I'm excited. And this is a little, I don't usually knit really in reds. I am in some of the blankets and stuff, but I'll be excited to see those knit up. So that's my next, that'll be my next cast on. I'll cast it on tomorrow probably, so that it's on the needles before I go get on the plane on Monday morning. So acquisitions, I showed you my fabric. That was my main acquisition. I did so I don't have any to show. I don't have any yarn to show, which is fine. I've been actually really good so far this year, but that's about to be thrown out the window. I did place an order for the Taco Bell yarn and the Baja Blast yarn, 90s Taco Bell yarn, Baja Blast, back in February. I ordered Oakwood Knits. She's doing a Studio Ghibli club, and I've liked the colors, but none of them have really spoken to me. She kind of took the scenes in a different direction than I would think based on her image and the color palette. All of them are much lighter than I thought. I think Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli have such a rich color texture, color pattern, and color palette. That was rough to get there. Have a rich color palette, and I feel like most of hers are just a little bit too pastel, a little bit too light, and I also think it's just this particular scenes that she chose. But this most recent one is from Ponyo. I love that film. It's not I don't think it's my favorite Studio Ghibli film, but it's the first colorway that truly spoke to me. So I got one variegated and one tonal, and I'll probably make myself a Musselburgh hat at some point. But that'll come in. But where I blue past any goals. I mean, I didn't have any goals, but where I just kind of went a little bit extra. I bought 2 sweater quantities of yarn, one for me and one for Tim. I'm obsessed, so we're gonna. Hi, Bug. What are you doing, Mr. B? What are you doing? He was at play school yesterday, so he's exhausted, and this is his first time coming upstairs after we went downstairs 4 hours ago. So I bought 2 sweater quantities. I originally wanted to do them in shades of brown, but the browns all sold out, and I was very sad. So this just happened to be the perfect storm for me of how I ended up with this. So Alicia Plummer released the Finest Kind sweater. Here's the sweater. I mean, look at it. First off, if I can wear the sweater and look like that, sign me up. But she released this sweater, and I wanted an all over textured sweater, and this just happened to be released, and I caught it. Loved it. Loved the slightly rolled collar at the top. And I'd been thinking about doing something similar. And she released that, and I was like, I'm in. And so I bought the pattern because it had, I think she's really, really size inclusive. Like, instead of me being the top or the next to the top size, I think I'm like 3 or 4 down. Also, fun fact, my chest is not as big as I thought it was. So I'm skinny now. I'm skinny now. I always go, I think, for a 64-inch minimum width, but that's including between 4 and 6 inches of positive ease. So I was like, I'm not as big as I thought. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am definitely big and tall, but it's aside, I am big and tall for average. I've talked about this before. If I stand up straight and I have my shoes on, I'm probably 6'4". But I am exactly between normal stores and the big and tall store. Do you have any idea how annoying that is? Like, the big and tall store will have like 2 or 3 things in some of their smaller sizes. Their shorter sizes. And the regular store will have 2 or 3 things in their biggest sizes. And more often than not, I'm one of those 2, and I can't get it, so I just buy oversized. So that's probably where that 64-inch measurement came from. But that was an aside. Anyway, so the pattern is super size inclusive, and so I figured, but with that, that'll give a lot of range. So, I'm tall and broad. Tim is short and broad, and so like his body size and shoulder size and arm length are like 3 different sizes. So I think between all of the versions, all of the sizes that she's provided, I'll be able to cobble together a sweater for him. Anyway, so I was going to do these browns. I was going to do a nice dark brown for me, and then a lighter brown for him to kind of work with our skin tones. But they were sold out because we waited too long, and that's on me. But Webb's is having their anniversary sale. Cascade 220 was like almost 40% off. So like both of these sweater quantities were under $60, and we're talking, I think 9 or 10 skeins for me and 7 or 8 skeins for him. So I just was like, I'm on it. I'm jumping on it. And I wanted to buy these. So we have a big trip planned in January of 2026 where a sweater will be nice. So I wanted to buy these and try and get them made. So I ended up going from the green family. Mine is I think it's a pine forest green. So it's kind of like that blue pine. So the green with the blue undertone. And then his is, I tried to get him the hunter green, but they were 2 skeins short. So his is like a rich green as well, like a dark, forest green. So his is like the dark forest green, and mine has the blue tint. I wanted them to be in the same color family, but not matchy. Yeah, so that's my obsession. And then basically what I'm telling you is that next month, all of this yarn's probably going to come in at the same time. It's going to hit. And then a yarn store's opening. I think I said this last time. Less than a 5-minute walk from me sitting right here, that direction. Like, maybe 7 minutes. I think from here up to the grocery store in the village where I live and back, I can do in under 15 minutes. And the yarn store's closer than that. I am screwed. Y'all. And they have all the local dyers. I don't know if they have all of the local dyers, but like McKenna's dropped off yarn there. The Felted Bee has dropped off felting kits. East Coast Yarns has dropped off yarn there. And I've been watching them stock the shelves, and I'm just like, ooh, what's in there? Let me see what's in there. Every time I walk Barnaby, I go up and look. Their grand opening is this weekend. I'm going to be there. I'm so excited. Hopefully they'll have a knit night. Like, I'll be able to walk to that one. I've been going to a men's group down in up in Dorchester near where we used to live, which has been a lot of fun, at Stitch House Dorchester. But this one is like, I bet I could, if there were no houses between me and there, I could probably throw a baseball. I wouldn't be able to hit it with a baseball, but it would probably be able to roll and touch the building. Like, that's how close we're talking. Like, it's not far. if I could cut through this, the two backyards beside me. If I could cut through there, I would cut off like 3 minutes. Anyway, so that opens on Saturday. Next week I will be in Denver for work. I'm planning to go visit, I think it's called the Lamb Shop. They have a knit night on, I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday night. I think it's Wednesday night. I happen not to have anything. I think I've got stuff Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, Friday, dinner with family, Saturday, Sunday, stuff with family. But I want to go out there and see that. So, of course, I'm going to buy something. Why would I not? So basically what I'm telling you is minimal acquisitions this month. Everything's going to come in next month. I know it is. So giddy up and get ready. So I was with my acquisitions, one of my obsessions, my other obsession right now. So y'all, that triangle and that granny square almost didn't happen. My original plan, I talked about this, might have been my first episode. I wanted to do a hexagon shaped blanket with 12 triangles. So, the two acute triangle, or I guess they're right angle triangles, but like, so the two would make the one. So basically each of the 6 sides would be made of 2 triangles from that yarn. Could not for the life of me figure it out. I wanted to knit it, couldn't figure it out. Then I was like, what if I just do regular triangles and then I can piece them together? And that went that direction. Someone on Instagram, it was not the designer, but someone I follow shared this shawl. The spiraling out shawl. Now it is not a hexagon, but it's a cool shape. And this person didn't make the shawl. They connected it and made it round. And I was like, when I saw it, I went and looked at the pattern page, and I spent a good 2 days debating whether or not I wanted to, one, buy a Tunisian crochet hook, two, figure out the math to double the width so I could make it 12 colors instead of 6 colors, and three, take out all of my crochet and make this shawl blanket instead. Now, I'm not saying I haven't decided, but I'm like 85% on the don't undo the work I've already done side of things. But there's a 15% chance that one of these next episodes, I'm going to tell you all that work has been undone, and I'm doing this spiraling out shawl, converting it to a blanket with all this yarn. Yeah, like it's just it's such a neat texture, it's such a neat pattern. And then if you close it, it's a circle. We'll see. Stay tuned. Come back. Check it out later. Yeah, so those are the two that I've just been like either obsessing about or thinking about ever since I saw them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think I will. I'm all for taking work out if you're not having fun, if it's not happy, if it's not bringing you joy. And those triangles do. I think what I need to do is I need to lay the current ones out on my bed and see how chaotic they look together. And then if they look too chaotic, then make a decision of, okay, do I think they would look less chaotic in the spiraling shape or whatever it is. We'll see. Yeah, so that's where I am. Those are my new obsessions. I think that's all of the knitting. Yeah, that's it. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen, I watch a lot of Asian dramas on Vicky Rakuten. I got super excited. The one I just watched was Hisu in Class 2. I'll put it here. And there's a knitter. One of the guys joined the knitting club to try and impress a girl. And I kept watching, and he was doing it right. Like he was throwing, and he was doing it right. The one scene that wasn't right was when he dropped all the stitches, accidentally pulled the cord out, and pulled the knitting cable out, and the young woman who had a crush on him was like, what are you crying about? You just do this and pick them up. And she's clearly an editor. She picked up most of them, but you could definitely see where she was just trying to move quickly so they could film it, where she skipped a few. But I was like, you know what? At least you're accurately portraying it, both sides of it. And it was, but that show was adorable. The music, it was just loved it so much. It was so cute. Yeah, so that was the one. It was knitting related, and it made me happy. I posted about it on Instagram. I think I don't really have a question for you. I think or I did have one at the very beginning, but it's been, I don't know, 40 minutes, and I have no idea what that question was anymore. So, I should wrap this up. Let me know below. What are you working on? Oh, that's what it was. The comments. I love hearing. I'm nosy. So tell me what you're working on. Tell me do you have questions for me? Do you want to see? I skipped the archive section. I'll do that next month. I want to. There's a blanket I want to show you all. It's in the room directly across the hall, but I won't go grab it. But yeah, tell me what you're working on. Tell me, what you're excited about as we in the north head into summer weather, and you in the south head into winter weather. I've asked that before. Yeah, I'm excited. I think I will probably keep my blankets going. We don't crank the AC, but the AC runs. When we do have it on, it's usually a little cooler, so I'm able to knit blankets year round, and I'll switch to smaller projects. But yeah, let me know. I will keep you all posted. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't think you need to turn on notifications. I only post once a month. I will continue that. December, no hold barred. I'm thinking about a couple of little mini episodes. I might do my 12 Days of Knitmas again, but I've been thinking about little mini episodes that I could do. We'll see. It could be a crazy December again. Hopefully not as crazy as last year. But yeah, you can pretty much bank on me posting the first Saturday of the month. The one exception might be July. My sister's wedding is that first. I think it's Thursday. It's the 4th, July 4th. No, she gets married on the 3rd. So that one might be, timing wise, it might be a week later or a week earlier. Or I'm going to record at my aunt's house in North Carolina. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so let me know what you're working on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As I said, I do a little dance every time I get someone subscribes. Every time I get a like, comments. Yeah, I do a little cheer. I love responding to your comments. I love seeing all of your comments. And yeah, so this is me casting off for now. Have a great month, and I will see you in early June. Wow. That'll be 6 episodes. That's awesome. Well, anyway, I'll see you next month.